Next, we turn to some stories behind the blank paper movement happening among Chinese people. Some Chinese students in Canada shared what they describe as their awakening stories with us. From being supporters of the Chinese regime to protesters fighting against totalitarianism. Here's what they had to say.
Young Chinese people have largely stayed silent about the regime in past decades. But a recent fire incident in a Xinjiang neighborhood has triggered a shift. Road blockades, set up as part of local COVID-19 measures, blocked fire trucks from entering a neighborhood where a building had caught fire to rescue those inside. Protests across China against the country's zero COVID-19 policy followed. Because the protesters held blank sheets of paper, the movement has been dubbed the Blank Paper Revolution. Chinese nationals in other countries also held events to support the movement inside China. The Chinese language version of NTD spoke with some Chinese students in Canada to hear about why they've chosen to stand up against the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP.
Supporting the blank paper revolution is something I think I have an obligation to do. I really love this country, China. I love these people. I want to protect them. I want to do something to end their suffering.
I may be more concerned about certain values, such as freedom, fairness, human rights, and justice.
Some protesters say they went through an awakening process. Some were among the ranks of China's so-called Little Pinks, a term used to describe young people who staunchly support the Chinese Communist Party.
It is not a one-day issue to realize how vicious the whole system in China is. I have indeed been a relatively loyal little pink, but after getting in touch with the dark side of the Chinese Communist Party, I realized what really weighed on the Chinese people. It's the Communist Party.
After this realization, Wester Yang became active in supporting freedom and democracy in China. Now he's the president of the Canada-based Assembly of Citizens, an association of students from China. Its mission is to fight, in its words, the totalitarian Chinese regime. Free internet access is playing a big role in the shift for Chinese students.
After breaking through the internet blockade in China, I basically got a basic knowledge of those things the Communist Party covered up, like the June 4th Tiananmen massacre. After I came to Canada for college, I gradually started paying attention to the human rights lawyers in China.
They say they hope the movement against the CCP will continue.
On the road of anti-communism, no one is alone. I used to think that anti-communism was a choice, but now I think it's a responsibility.
NTD News.